Good morning, everybody. A very warm welcome to you and to the Induction for Social Care Workers event, which is being run by the Social Services Learning Network South East. We're delighted to welcome you here today and hope that this will be a productive and interesting day for each one of you. I'm Wendy Paterson. I'm the network coordinator, and I'm very appreciative in the short time that we've existed of the opportunities for the word network to begin to mean something. So I hope today is one of those days, and that all of you will find that not only are the speakers interesting, the seminar groups interesting, but that you have real opportunity to talk to each other, one of the key aspirations of being within a network. In welcoming you, I need to just do the little bit of housekeeping which I tend to forget. There is no fire alarm expected today, so if by any chance it goes off, we do need to leave the building. Over here is one door, and the door at the end through which you came is the other. And there are cloakrooms and toilets for men and women on the left-hand side as I look out at the corridor. There's a disabled toilet to the right and a lift just beyond that takes you upstairs to the rooms where the seminars will happen later on. Well, without more ado, and my introduction is going to be very brief, it is just to say that the network has existed for a short time. We're just reaching the end of our first 6 months as a functioning network. We're one of 4 in Scotland. For those of you who've heard me say this before, apologies, but I'll be very brief about it. There are 4 learning networks in Scotland, each set up under the auspices of the Scottish Executive and through the Social Services Council. And we're delighted not only to have members of the Social Services Council here today, and they're going to talk to you, but also members from other networks in Scotland. We're very keen that the work of the networks is shared, that we're all working to the same aims, and these are the ones that I'm just going to show you very briefly. 4 aims. The first, to support registration and post-registration needs of the workforce. Just need to stress that the workforce is the whole social services workforce, across all sectors, a very huge workforce in this part of the world. We're trying to think about, and perhaps will be helped today to understand how large that workforce is. But it does come from many places, and it's great that there is a real representation today across sectors as well as across geography. Registration is one of the key areas that we want to concentrate on, and we will be letting you know about an event which will happen in our next work plan this summer. To increase the quantity, quality and diversity of practice learning, often associated with qualifying social work training, we want and mean to ensure that the quality, quantity and diversity should be applicable to all parts of learning, whether it's at the master's level of a mental health officer of the future, or whether it's at somebody who's just beginning to come into their learning and needs to see good models of practice. To achieve workforce planning and development. I like the word achieve. I'm used to working towards. Achieve sounds more positive, and I suppose I need to say in terms of that we're not setting out to do any of these things alone. We're a very small staff group. We have a very strong management group directing us, but our work is with you, to support you and to help you. It's not to do it for or about you. And I do want to stress that in terms of workforce development. It takes all of us to work together on it. And finally, to embed a culture of learning and continuing employee development in the workforce. Another major aspiration. A culture of learning is one that we hear about. We've heard about it in terms of education for quite a long time. What does it mean in practice? Well, hopefully it means events like today that allow us to think about learning together, acknowledge that we want to learn together, that we have much to learn, and that we do need to see that as an important part of what we do and promote. Why do we do it? Well, I suppose the reason that I think I'm standing here, and I guess all of you are sitting in the room, is to think about the people who are concerned with induction. And the key people who are concerned with induction, as well as staff, are those who use services and their carers. And I wanted to just remind all of you that one of the hallmarks for us of the Learning Network is to try to be responsive to the needs of service users and carers, to make sure that we listen to what is wanted, but more than that, to move to a position where it is service users and carers who influence the way that services are provided. And that's another aspiration, but it's not an undoable one if we do what we say we're going to do. In relation to that, the network, which has really been starting, it started in earnest last June, July, started its first work plan in October, has come to the end of a 6-month sequence, and is delighted that a subgroup which is made up of service users and carers has been established. It's also great to welcome one of our members here today as part of this workshop. So we're very pleased with that. But as a group, we've gone out and about, and we've asked for messages that would influence today. And I'd like to just show you a very small sample of them. I apologise that it's not as comprehensive because of time as we could make it. We could spend a morning looking at the messages. The beginning is important. It can be hard because everyone is anxious. Well, I can tell you that today I'm anxious. The mic, the camera, the laptop, making sure what's on the screen makes some sense to you, combined, is one of those challenges I wasn't brought up to. I'm learning as fast as I can. In a serious sense, the beginning is very important if you're somebody who's about to receive a service. And if you're about to give a service. And so I think I wanted to stress and was very grateful that this was a start in terms of the messages we were given. Everyone is anxious, and it does matter that the person who is at the stage of induction has enough about them that they can give a kind of confident message. That may be a message about still having a lot to learn, but it's a message of wishing to give a service that's a good one.